Hey, thanks for joining the masterclass. By the way, to explain who's going to be teaching you, I'm Dane, founder of Rockstar Integrator. I'm working in online marketing for almost a decade at this point, both with coaches, consultants, e-commerce companies. So I really look forward to walking you through this. And with that being said, let's jump to my computer and get to it. And let's start on some email. This document right here, I broke into 4 sections. This is a document that I use every day with my clients. I pretty much have a spot for the month and the intended send date. I have a pre-production area to go ahead and get concepts and themes hashed out and get approval on. Over here, I have a production section where I can see what the email name, subject line, preview line, a direct link to the email in the email software, who we're sending it to and whether it's approved. And then also I have a place to record data after 24 hours. That means all the way from the very beginning of knowing when I'm going to be sending it, what the concept, the theme is, what the production assets of it are, and also what the data is 24 hours after it's been sent. I can go ahead and analyze the data and see, okay, out of all these emails, what worked. So let's go ahead and do an example. 3, the 25, the 25. We are going to have spring sale doorbusters. So that's the theme right there. Products featured, let's just say data and system. So right there, we can just say like, okay, our concept for this month is just doorbusters. It's going to be a throwback to Black Friday. Now, it might be for your business. Oh, by the way, a great tool, especially if you're a misspeller like me. Did you know that Google Sheets has a spell checker? Neither did I. There we go. And it looks like this word, there we go, spring sale doorbusters. So right here, you can have the concept theme be like, okay, this is going to be a straight sales email. It's going to be a throwback, maybe even a revision of what we did for Black Friday. This is the product we're going to be featuring. You can also be lead magnets or any other promotional material traffic to. And right from there, you can say needs review. You can then also, if you are the person who's going to be checking this stuff out, say approved or not approved and write some notes. So that means once this gets approved, we're going to move on to production. So I'm going to be doing this section along with you too. Example campaign Rockstar Integrator Spring Door Buster. That's my campaign name, and I'm going to make sure it's right here under email name. Subject line. Moving on over, since I have my subject line and preview line added, I can go ahead and add them here. Likewise, you can go ahead and do this in reverse. Say if you just want to knock out subject line and the preview line, you can just go ahead and add them here and copy and paste into your document. Now, since we're here, up here in the URL tab, we are going to put the direct link to that email. So that means if anyone needs to jump in here real quick and see what the email is, they can just go and click, and it works just like that. Now, when it comes to segments, this is going to be covered in another course I'm going to be working on when it comes to proper segmentation. But let's just say full list, just for ease of use, which means when someone goes in here to go ahead and review this email before it sends, because we always want to make sure we're doing our QA, got to get our subject line in here. Now, as you can tell, right here under production, we can see the name of the campaign, subject line, did you see this? That's the preview line, direct link to the campaign. We know who it's going to, then we can say it needs review. And of course, we can add some notes. Now, once this gets approved, the email, of course, will be scheduled to be sent in the email software. What we then want to do is after 24 hours after the send date, so for example, right here, 3 to 25, we want to make sure we look here on 3 to 26 and see what our open rate is. It could be that we had a 40% open rate, click-through rate, 0% spam rate, a bounce rate of 0.05%, and unsubscribe rate of 0.2, but we also got 4 sales. What we would do is, looking at this data here that we would get from our email service provider, we would then say, okay, so for the full list, with this subject line, this preview line, and this is the email content, these are the results that we got. Now, say if we had another email that went out on 3, let's see, just go ahead and say it was the same thing, but we did something different. Now, 2, the name of our campaign. We're going to go here and say, and let's just pretend that this is a different email for the sake of argument. Let's see, and let's just say 90 days engaged. Now, say this email was sent out. We sent it to people who engaged in our email list the last 90 days. It was the second email in this campaign of, Spring Doorbuster. This is the subject line, this is the open line, and the results were not great. Let's just say there was a 17% open, 0.03% click-through rate. Spam actually skyrocketed and went to 1%, which actually is pretty bad, by the way. Bounce stayed pretty consistent since the list was clean. Unsubscribe rate went to 1.5%. And of course, conversions was a goose egg. What that tells us is, hey, when we are analyzing our data for our emails and saying what worked, we can clearly say an email like this really did not help, because sending to the full list, more people, we had a better open rate and click-through rate, which means that this was a better subject line, preview line, because people were opening and they were clicking. While while we're trying to be a little bit smart and send to a more engaged audience, people who have engaged with email the last 90 days, this subject line turned people off. And in fact, people reported as spam because they thought, oh, I don't know who you are. So as you can tell, this is a really easy way to keep track of your email campaigns month after month. Now, what I am showing is pretty high level for any email service provider. When it comes to getting this data, it is going to depend on how your software presents it. That's why I say make sure to always go in manually 24 hours after. An ActiveCampaign, it will be under here under reports. Klaviyo, it's going to have its own reports section as well. See here campaign, and you would set the date range. Again, that's for Klaviyo. Your software may be different, but this is a great way to also make sure your marketing team is all beating the same drum when it comes to sending out emails and that data is being analyzed. Another thing I recommend is go ahead and check out my free offer when it comes to building UTM links. It's a great way to see which one of these actually drove the most traffic from your website's side. You'll probably a little bit on this side as well, but it's another great asset for scaling your email marketing and really driving home performance email marketing. Hey, it's Dane from the training you just watched. And I want to thank you, honestly, for getting all the way through the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and even leave a comment on something else you'd like me to cover. Down below in the comments and the description, I have some free resources for you guys to take care of, so just go for it. Business is hard enough. I'm just trying to give as much as possible.